Your spiritual body has a very dark secret, and I'll prove it's been controlling your reality this entire time. What if I told you that every thought you've ever had, every emotion you've ever felt, was actually your spiritual body communicating with the physical world? And what if the people who control religion, science, and education knew this from the very beginning? There's a reason they separated spirit from body. It's called that because they're literally keeping you fragmented, divided, powerless. You walk around thinking you're just flesh and blood, just neurons firing, just chemical reactions. But here's what nobody tells you. The spiritual body you were taught to ignore is the actual control system for your entire reality. And they've systematically trained you to dismiss it, mock it, and forget it even exists. But it's not your mistake. And before you dismiss this as religious nonsense or New Age fantasy, let me show you something. Science now proves you have a biofield, an electromagnetic signature that extends feet beyond your physical body. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field 5,000 times stronger than your brain. This field carries information, broadcasts frequency, and interacts with every field around it. That's your spiritual body. That's what every ancient tradition was trying to tell you. And modern science just confirmed it while pretending they discovered something new. But here's where it gets disturbing. In the 1950s, something vanished from Western medicine and education. Not bloodletting, not lobotomies, but the understanding that humans are energetic beings first, physical beings second. The moment they removed it, you lost the ability to heal yourself. You lost access to the control panel of your own existence. Because when you understand what you actually are, a spiritual body operating a biological vehicle, you start noticing that almost every symptom, every disease, every limitation was programmed into you by disconnecting you from your energetic system. Let me prove it to you right now. The systematic separation. There's a reason they stopped teaching about the spiritual body in the 1950s. Before that, energy healing was mainstream. Hospitals had prayer rooms. Doctors studied subtle anatomy alongside physical anatomy. Indigenous healing traditions were documented and respected. Then it stopped. Everywhere, all at once. They replaced it with purely materialist medicine, pills for symptoms, surgery for problems, radiation for disease. Why? Because if you knew that your spiritual body, your biofield, your energy system, your consciousness is the blueprint for your physical body, you might stop depending on their systems. If you knew that chakras aren't mystical nonsense, but actual energy centers corresponding to nerve plexuses and endocrine glands, you might start healing yourself. If you knew that your aura isn't imagination, but a measurable electromagnetic field, you might realize you've been broadcasting disease frequencies because nobody taught you how to tune your spiritual body. They gave you a corrupted understanding of what you are and told you the spiritual body doesn't matter, that it's all just superstition. But your spiritual body is the interface between consciousness and matter, and they've been blocking your access to it your entire life. Listen, I know how that sounds. I know you're probably thinking, okay, this is going to be some weird spiritual bypassing thing. But stay with me, because what I'm about to show you isn't spiritual bypassing at all. It's biophysics. It's quantum biology, and they've systematically hidden it from you. Because once you understand that your spiritual body isn't separate from your physical body, it's the template, the blueprint, the control system, you become unhealable by their methods and uncontrollable by their systems. The truth they're hiding. Here's the truth nobody's telling you. You've been doing the work, right? Meditation, yoga, clean eating, supplements. This means you're not lazy, and you're definitely not missing some secret ingredient. But here's what's happening. You've been operating with a damaged spiritual body that programs limitation directly into your physical form. And they did that on purpose. Think about it. You pray for healing while your spiritual body broadcasts disease. You meditate for peace while your biofield radiates anxiety. You visualize abundance while your energy centers are closed, blocked, leaking. Every single one of those practices fails not because they don't work, but because your spiritual body, the actual mechanism through which they work, has been damaged, neglected, and deliberately obscured. Your spiritual body has been compromised through fluoride calcifying your pineal gland, through EMF radiation disrupting your biofield, through trauma fragmenting your energy body, through belief systems that tell you you're powerless, small, just a meat machine waiting to break down. Now, here's what they don't want you to know. The elite understand the spiritual body like their lives depend on it. They practice qigong, yoga, breathwork, ancient technologies specifically designed to strengthen, cleanse, and control the energetic system. They know about chakras, meridians, nadis, the entire spiritual anatomy that makes you function. They study Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, Kabbalah, Hermetic principles, systems that map the spiritual body in precise detail. Meanwhile, they give your kids screens that destroy their biofield. They put your food in packages that leak endocrine disruptors. They flood your water with chemicals that calcify your third eye. They tell you the biggest lie ever told. You are just your body. That's not truth. That's programming you to ignore the control system of your entire existence. Your spiritual body is technology. Your spiritual body isn't mystical. I need you to understand this. It's not just some vague energy thing hippies talk about. It's technology. Biological technology interfacing with quantum fields. Dr. Valerie Hunt spent 25 years at UCLA measuring the human biofield. She used electrodes to record electromagnetic frequencies from the body during energy healing sessions. What she found changed everything. She documented frequency signatures for every emotion, every state of consciousness, every energy center. When someone's heart chakra opened during a session, specific frequencies appeared on the instruments. When their third eye activated, different frequencies. Measurable, repeatable, scientific. Your spiritual body broadcasts on specific frequencies. Physical body, 0, 250 hertz. Emotional body, 250, 500 hertz. Mental body, 500, 750 hertz. Spiritual body, 750 plus hertz, extending into thousands of hertz. When you operate primarily in physical consciousness, survival, fear, basic needs, you're broadcasting low frequency. Your spiritual body is dormant, but when you activate higher consciousness, love, creativity, transcendence, you're broadcasting high frequency. Your spiritual body wakes up. And that's when reality starts bending. Here's where it gets crazy. The HeartMath Institute proved your heart's electromagnetic field extends 8 to 10 feet in all directions. It's 5,000 times stronger than your brain's field. And it carries information, emotions, intentions, coherent or chaotic patterns. When you feel gratitude, your heart creates coherent electromagnetic waves that organize the field around you. When you feel anxiety, your heart creates chaotic waves that disrupt everything near you. You are constantly broadcasting your internal state into the quantum field through your spiritual body. And that field responds. It has to, because you're not separate from it. Your spiritual body is how consciousness interfaces with the quantum field to collapse possibilities into physical reality. The problem is, nobody told you that healing your physical body starts with healing your spiritual body. That changing your circumstances starts with changing your biofield. That manifesting anything requires first tuning your energetic signature to match what you want to experience. The privacy angle. Your spiritual body is being harvested. Here's what nobody talks about. Your spiritual body, your biofield, your energetic signature, it's not private. Every thought, every emotion, every state of consciousness broadcasts outward through electromagnetic frequency. And in the age of surveillance, they're not just watching what you do. They're measuring what you feel. They're tracking your energetic signature. Smart devices measure your biometrics constantly. Heart rate variability, galvanic skin response, sleep patterns. They claim it's for health optimization, but what they're really doing is mapping your spiritual body, your energetic responses, your frequency patterns. Every app you use, every device you wear, every smart technology in your home is collecting data on your biofield, building a profile of your energetic signature. Why? Because once they understand your spiritual body's frequency, they can manipulate it. They can broadcast frequencies that trigger specific emotional states. They can disrupt your biofield with EMF radiation. They can harvest your energetic data and use it to predict your behavior, influence your decisions, keep you in low-frequency states where you are controllable. 5G towers aren't just for faster internet. They're broadcasting frequencies that directly interact with your biofield. Your spiritual body is being bombarded with electromagnetic pollution designed to keep you anxious, distracted, disconnected from higher consciousness. They're weaponizing frequency against your energetic system, and you have no idea it's happening. Because nobody taught you that your spiritual body is as real and vulnerable as your physical body. The elite shield themselves. They live in areas with minimal EMF. They practice grounding. They use orgonite, shungite technologies that protect the biofield. They know their spiritual bodies are under attack, so they protect them. Meanwhile, they tell you it's pseudoscience, while collecting your energetic data through every device you own. Your spiritual body has no privacy in the modern world. Every meditation app tracks your brainwaves. Every fitness tracker monitors your HRV and stress levels, mapping your emotional patterns. Every smart home device measures your energetic fluctuations throughout the day. They're building detailed profiles of human biofields, understanding exactly how to manipulate consciousness through frequency. And the worst part, they're using your own spiritual body against you. They study what frequencies trigger fear, compliance, desire, exhaustion. Then they broadcast those frequencies through your devices, your entertainment, your environment. You think you're feeling naturally anxious or tired or scattered, but really, your spiritual body is being deliberately disrupted to keep you in low-frequency states. What the elite know about spiritual anatomy. Let me tell you what the elite actually study. While they taught you that chakras are mystical nonsense, they were learning that chakras are literal energy centers corresponding to major nerve plexuses and endocrine glands in your body. Your root chakra sits at the base of your spine, connected to your adrenal glands. When it's open and balanced, you feel safe, grounded, abundant. When it's blocked, you live in survival mode, fear, scarcity. They keep you in survival mode by keeping this chakra blocked through financial stress, food insecurity, housing instability. They know that a closed root chakra makes you controllable. Your sacral chakra governs creativity, sexuality, emotional flow. They corrupt this through pornography, through shaming sexuality, through creative suppression. They know that when this chakra is damaged, you can't create, can't manifest, can't access your creative power. Your solar plexus chakra is your power center. Will, confidence, personal authority. They attack this from childhood through education systems that teach obedience, through media that promotes victimhood, through cultural programming that says you're powerless. They know that a weak solar plexus makes you need external authority. Your heart chakra is the bridge between lower and higher consciousness, love, compassion, connection. They keep this closed through division, hatred, isolation, trauma. They know that an open heart chakra is the gateway to higher consciousness, so they systematically traumatize humanity to keep hearts closed. Your throat chakra governs expression, truth, authentic voice. They censor you, they cancel you, they punish truth-telling. They know that when you can't speak your truth, you can't create your reality, because creation happens through voice, through declaration. Your third eye chakra is your intuitive center, your inner vision. They calcify this with fluoride. They mock intuition as irrational. They flood you with external information so you never turn inward. They know that an active third eye sees through their lies. Your crown chakra connects you to universal consciousness, to source, to the infinite. They tell you there's no God, or they give you corrupted religion that makes God external and punishing. They know that an open crown chakra means you access infinite intelligence, creative power, direct knowing. This isn't mysticism. This is your actual anatomy. Western medicine just refuses to acknowledge it because healthy spiritual bodies create healthy physical bodies, and healthy people don't need their system. The science. They won't teach you. Let me show you what mainstream science discovered, but refuses to integrate. In 1935, Harold Burr at Yale discovered the L field, the electrical field that surrounds all living things. He measured trees, salamanders, humans. Every living organism has an electrical blueprint that exists before and during physical form. He discovered something shocking. The electrical field shows disease before physical symptoms appear. A salamander egg that will develop abnormally shows electrical abnormalities in the field before any physical development happens. The field is the blueprint. The spiritual body is the template. Physical form follows energetic pattern. They buried this research. Why? Because if disease shows up in the biofield first, you could catch it energetically before it manifests physically. You could heal at the energetic level. You wouldn't need their drugs, their surgeries, their treatments. You just need to learn how to work with your own spiritual body. Fritz Albert Popp discovered biophotons. Every cell in your body emits light. Weak light, but measurable. Healthy cells emit coherent light patterns. Diseased cells emit chaotic light. Your spiritual body is literally made of light, and the state of that light determines the state of your physical health. When you meditate, biophoton emission increases. When you're stressed, it becomes chaotic. When you're in love, coherent. Your emotional and mental states directly affect the light your body emits. This is why mystics have been painted with halos. This is why saints are described as radiating light. They weren't metaphors. They were people who mastered their spiritual bodies to such a degree that their biophoton emission became visible. Rupert Sheldrake documented morphic fields, information fields that connect members of a species. When rats in one location learn a maze, rats in another location learn it faster. Why? Because the information enters the morphic field. Your spiritual body connects to collective consciousness. What you learn, feel, experience enters the field and affects others. You're not isolated. You're networked at the energetic level. They don't teach this in schools. They don't discuss it in medical journals. Because understanding your spiritual body means understanding you're connected to everything. You're broadcasting and receiving constantly. You're participating in collective consciousness, whether you know it or not. How your spiritual body actually works. Your spiritual body operates on 7 primary systems, and understanding them gives you back the control they took from you. The meridian system, 12 major energy pathways running through your body, mapped by Chinese medicine 5,000 years ago. Every organ connects to a meridian. When energy flows freely, you're healthy. When meridians are blocked, disease manifests. Acupuncture works by clearing meridian blockages, restoring energy flow. Western medicine calls this pseudoscience, while pharmaceutical companies patent acupuncture techniques. The chakra system, 7 major energy centers corresponding to endocrine glands and nerve plexuses. Each chakra governs specific physical systems, emotions, and consciousness levels. When all 7 chakras are open and balanced, you operate at peak consciousness. When they're blocked, you're trapped in lower frequency states. The elite know this. They practice Kundalini yoga to activate their full energetic system while keeping you blocked. The aura, your electromagnetic field extending several feet from your body. It has layers: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Each layer vibrates at a different frequency. When your aura is strong, you're protected, energized, magnetic. When it's weak or damaged, you're vulnerable, drained, repelling what you want. Most people walk around with shredded auras from trauma, EMF exposure, energy vampires. Nobody taught you to maintain your auric field like you maintain your body. The nadis, 72,000 energy channels throughout your spiritual body, like a circulatory system for consciousness. Pranayama breathing techniques clear and activate nadis, allowing life force to flow freely. When nadis are blocked, you feel sluggish, foggy, disconnected. The 3 main nadis, Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, balance masculine, feminine energy, and activate your central channel for Kundalini rising. The Hara, your energetic center of gravity, about 2 inches below your navel. This is your power source, your connection to earth energy. Martial artists develop strong haras. Energy healers work from their haras. When your hara is strong, you're centered, grounded, powerful. When it's weak, you're scattered, easily influenced, powerless. They want your hara weak. The assemblage point, mapped by Carlos Castaneda and shamanic traditions, this is the spot on your spiritual body where perception assembles. It's located on your back, behind your heart. The position of your assemblage, point, determines your state of consciousness, your perception of reality. Trauma shifts it. Healing centers it. Shamanic practices move it intentionally to access alternate perceptions. The silver cord, the energetic connection between your spiritual body and physical body. During out-of-body experiences, astral projection, near-death experiences, you remain connected via the silver cord. When you die, this cord severs, and your spiritual body separates from your physical body permanently. Every night when you sleep, your spiritual body travels while connected by this cord. Nobody taught you that you leave your body nightly, that your dreams might be memories of where your spiritual body went. These aren't beliefs. These are systems that have been mapped, documented, and used for thousands of years across every culture. Modern science is just starting to catch up with instruments sensitive enough to measure what ancient mystics knew through direct experience. Taking back control. So here's what changes. Once you understand this, once you get that your spiritual body is the control system for your physical reality, you gain complete sovereignty. You stop treating symptoms and start healing at the energetic level. You stop feeling powerless and start recognizing you're the broadcaster. You're the frequency generator. You're the one creating coherence or chaos in your field. You begin practices the elite use: grounding, walking barefoot on Earth, connecting your biofield to Earth's electromagnetic field. This discharges excess EMF, rebalances your nervous system, strengthens your root chakra. 15 minutes daily. They know this. That's why they paved everything and convinced you walking barefoot is dirty. Breathwork. Conscious breathing activates your entire energetic system. Specific patterns clear meridians, open chakras, move stagnant energy. Wim Hof method, holotropic breathwork, pranayama. These aren't relaxation techniques. They're technologies for activating your spiritual body. Sound healing. Your spiritual body responds to frequency. Binaural beats, solfeggio frequencies, chanting, singing bowls. These literally tune your biofield like tuning an instrument. 528 hertz repairs DNA. 432 hertz brings coherence. They gave you music at 440 hertz, slightly off, keeping you subtly out of tune. Energy protection, shielding your biofield from EMF, from energy vampires, from electromagnetic pollution. Orgonite, shungite, black tourmaline, copper. These aren't magical rocks. They're materials that affect electromagnetic fields. The elite use them. You're told it's superstition. Chakra activation. Meditation, visualization, specific yoga poses, working systematically to open and balance each energy center. When all 7 chakras are open, you're operating at full consciousness, full creative power, full spiritual embodiment. Auric maintenance. Clearing your field regularly through sage, salt baths, visualization, energy work. Just like you shower daily, you need to clear your auric field daily. Otherwise, you accumulate energetic debris that eventually manifests as physical symptoms. This isn't about becoming spiritual. You already are spiritual. You have a spiritual body, whether you believe in it or not. This is about conscious operation of systems that have been running unconsciously, damaged, neglected your entire life. The ultimate truth. Your spiritual body isn't separate from your physical body. It's the template, the blueprint, the energetic scaffolding around which matter organizes. Every cell in your body follows the pattern set by your biofield. When you heal your spiritual body, your physical body has no choice but to follow. This is why spontaneous remissions happen. The person shifts their energetic state so dramatically that the body reorganizes around the new pattern. This is why placebos work. The belief changes the biofield, which changes the body. This is why faith healers sometimes heal people. They're working directly with the spiritual body, and when it shifts, matter must follow. You are not your body. You are consciousness operating a biological vehicle through a spiritual body interface. That spiritual body is the control panel, and they've convinced you it doesn't exist, so you never learn to use it. But now you know. You know you're electromagnetic. You know you broadcast frequency. You know your spiritual body is as real as your physical body and far more powerful because it's the template from which physical reality emerges. Every ancient tradition knew this. Every mystical text taught this. Every wisdom keeper passed this down. Then they systematically removed it from education, from medicine, from acceptable discourse. They called it pseudoscience while practicing it themselves. The game has always been rigged. But now you see the board. Now you know the rules. Now you understand that healing yourself, changing your reality, manifesting your desires, all of it happens through your spiritual body. You are not powerless. You never were. You're just disconnected from the control system they don't want you to access. Your spiritual body is that system. And the moment you start consciously working with it, everything changes. Because you are not just flesh and blood. You are light-wearing matter. You are frequency broadcasting through form. You are consciousness piloting a biological vehicle through a spiritual interface that connects you directly to the quantum field. And that spiritual body, the one they told you doesn't exist, is listening right now, waiting for you to remember what you are and take back control of what you create. So what frequency are you broadcasting now? Let me take you deeper because what I'm about to reveal will fundamentally change how you see yourself and reality. Your spiritual body isn't just one thing. It's not just an aura or a vibe. It's a complete system with architecture, layers, and functionality that rivals anything your physical body does. And they've kept this from you deliberately. Your spiritual body has 7 layers, and each layer vibrates at a specific frequency. Think of it like an onion, with your physical body at the center and progressively higher frequency layers extending outward. Most people only operate consciously in the first 2 layers. The elite have mastered all 7. Layer 1, the etheric body. This is the energetic blueprint sitting millimeters from your physical skin. It's the template. Every organ, every bone, every cell has an etheric counterpart. When someone loses a limb but still feels it, they're feeling the etheric body. That's not phantom pain. That's real sensation from the energetic template that's still there, even when the physical part is gone. Here's what's wild. Disease appears in the etheric body first, sometimes months or years before physical symptoms. Energy healers can see blockages, tears, or distortions in the etheric layer and know what's coming physically. But Western medicine ignores this completely because you can't patent energy healing. You can't create pharmaceutical dependency when people learn to fix their etheric body before disease manifests physically. Layer 2, the emotional body. This extends about 3 inches from your physical body and carries the frequency of every emotion you've ever felt. Unprocessed emotions don't just disappear. They get stored in this layer as energetic density. Grief sits in your lungs, anger in your liver, fear in your kidneys. Not metaphorically, energetically. That density eventually becomes physical disease. When you stuff your emotions down, swallow your pain, put on a brave face, you're literally compressing energy in your emotional body. It builds pressure. Eventually, it explodes as physical symptoms. This is why some people who never show anger suddenly have a heart attack. The rage was there all along, compressed in the emotional body, finally manifesting physically. The elite know this. They process emotions regularly. Therapy, breathwork, somatic release, rage rooms. They understand that emotional health isn't just mental wellness, it's energetic maintenance. Meanwhile, they tell you to suppress your feelings. Be professional, don't be emotional. They're programming your emotional body to become diseased. Layer 3, the mental body. Extending about 8 inches out, this layer holds your thoughts, beliefs, mental patterns. Every thought you've ever had leaves an imprint here. Repetitive thoughts create grooves, like ruts in a dirt road. Your consciousness follows these grooves automatically. That's why breaking thought patterns is so hard. You're not just changing your mind, you're reshaping energetic pathways in your mental body. Limiting beliefs aren't just psychological, they're energetic structures in your mental body. I'm not good enough isn't just a thought. It's a frequency pattern that your mental body broadcasts constantly, and reality responds accordingly. When someone says, "I can't seem to break through this limitation," They're literally describing an energetic structure in their mental body that's crystallized over years of repetitive thinking. The elite guard their mental bodies fiercely. They practice meditation not for relaxation, but for mental body hygiene. They clear out thought patterns that don't serve them. They consciously install beliefs that support their goals. They understand that your mental body is programmable, and if you're not programming it consciously, their media, their advertising, their education system is programming it for you. Layer 4, the astral body. This is where it gets really interesting. The astral body extends about 1 foot from your physical body and operates in the astral plane. When you dream vividly, when you have out-of-body experiences, when you feel like you've been somewhere you've never physically been, that's your astral body traveling. Every night when you sleep, your astral body loosens from your physical body. Sometimes it travels. Sometimes it stays close, but it's always partially separated, which is why you feel vulnerable when you sleep, why you need safe spaces to rest fully. Your astral body is exploring while your physical body regenerates. The elite practice astral projection deliberately. They learn to consciously navigate the astral plane, to gather information, to influence events at the energetic level before they manifest physically. They know that reality is created in the astral plane first, then densifies into the physical. Control the astral, control the physical. That's why secret societies perform rituals. They're working in the astral plane, creating energetic patterns that eventually manifest physically. Layer 5, the etheric template. About 2 feet out, this layer holds the template for your etheric body, which holds the template for your physical body. It's the blueprint's blueprint. This is where genetic patterns exist energetically. When someone heals generational trauma, they're actually working at this level, changing the etheric template so it stops creating the same patterns in the etheric body, which stops creating them physically. Epigenetics is starting to acknowledge this. Your genes aren't fixed. They respond to environmental signals, to consciousness, to energetic states. The etheric template is how consciousness communicates with DNA. When you change your consciousness, you change your etheric template, which changes genetic expression, which changes your physical reality. The elite have known about this for generations. That's why they're obsessed with bloodlines, with genetics, with keeping their lineages pure. They understand that the etheric template carries information across generations. They protect their templates while corrupting yours through processed food, environmental toxins, electromagnetic pollution, trauma. A damaged etheric template creates damaged descendants. They're attacking your lineage at the energetic level. Layer 6, the celestial body. Extending about 3 feet out, this is your connection to unconditional love, to divine consciousness, to the transcendent. When you feel overwhelming gratitude, when you experience moments of unity consciousness, when you touch something beyond yourself, you're accessing your celestial body. Most people never consciously activate this layer. They live their entire lives in the lower 5 layers: physical survival, emotional reactivity, mental chatter, astral drama, genetic programming. The celestial body remains dormant, and that's exactly how they want it. Because when your celestial body activates, something shifts fundamentally. You stop being controllable through fear. You stop seeking external validation. You stop believing their lies about separation, about scarcity, about powerlessness. You recognize yourself as infinite consciousness, having a temporary human experience, and nothing they do can touch that. The elite, at least those at the highest levels, have activated celestial bodies. That's how they operate with such detachment, such calculated precision. They're not psychopaths, though some are. They're accessing a level of consciousness that sees humanity as a game board, as energy to be directed. They've transcended human concerns while keeping you trapped in them. Layer 7, the Ketheric template. The outermost layer, extending 3 to 5 feet from your body, connects you to your higher self, to your soul's blueprint, to the divine plan for your life. This is where your life purpose exists as an energetic pattern. This is where you access direct knowing, divine guidance, your soul's intention for this incarnation. When this layer is clear and activated, you know your path. You feel called. You move with certainty even when logic says otherwise. You're connected to intelligence beyond your individual consciousness. This is what every spiritual tradition calls enlightenment. God consciousness, Christ consciousness, Buddha nature, the Tao. They don't want you accessing this layer, ever. Because when you do, you become sovereign. You stop needing their systems. You stop following their programs. You operate from divine guidance, and no amount of propaganda, manipulation, or coercion can sway you. This is why fluoride in water calcifies your pineal gland, the physical organ that interfaces with this layer. This is why they mock spirituality while practicing it themselves. This is why organized religion became corrupted into control systems. They took the technologies that activate the Ketheric template and turned them into dogma, into hierarchy, into something external you must worship, rather than internal power you must activate. The energetic parasites you never knew about. Now, let me tell you something that's going to sound insane until you think about it. Your spiritual body can host parasites. Not physical parasites, energetic ones. And most people are absolutely infested. Ever feel drained after talking to certain people? That's not just psychological. They're feeding on your energy. Energy vampires are real. They're people whose spiritual bodies have learned to siphon energy from others instead of generating their own. They attach energetic cords to your chakras and drain your life force. But it's worse than that. There are non-physical entities that attach to your spiritual body and feed on your emotional energy. Ancient traditions called them demons, archons, Wetiko, hungry ghosts. Modern psychology calls them shadow projections, or subconscious complexes. But shamans who can see the spiritual plane directly say no, these are actual entities, and they're everywhere. They feed on low-frequency emotions, fear, anger, shame, guilt, despair. They attach to people during trauma, during moments of extreme emotional vulnerability, during drug use or alcohol blackouts, when your spiritual body's defenses are down. And once attached, they whisper, they influence. They create thoughts you think are yours, but aren't. That voice in your head that says you're worthless. That sudden rage that seems to come from nowhere. That inexplicable craving that sabotages your progress. It might not be you. It might be an energetic parasite feeding on the low-frequency emotions it generates in you. The elite know this. They practice spiritual hygiene to keep their fields clear. Sage, Palo Santo, salt baths, protective rituals, banishing ceremonies. Meanwhile, they design society to keep you in low-frequency states, fear, stress, anger, division, because those states make you susceptible to energetic parasites, which keep you in low-frequency states, which keeps you controllable. This isn't schizophrenia. This is spiritual discernment. Indigenous cultures understood this. Every shamanic tradition has cleansing ceremonies specifically designed to remove energetic parasites. Early Christianity practiced exorcism. They weren't delusional. They were addressing a real phenomenon that modern materialism refuses to acknowledge. Your spiritual body in the age of technology. Let me tell you what's happening to your spiritual body right now, in this moment, with all the technology around you. Your phone is emitting electromagnetic radiation. If it's in your pocket, it's sitting directly over your sacral chakra, your creativity center, your reproductive organs, your manifestation power. That radiation is disrupting the energetic flow in that chakra. Your laptop on your lap is radiating your solar plexus, your power center. Your Wi-Fi router is flooding your space with frequencies that create chaos in your biofield. Your smart meter is pulsing radiation through your home every few seconds. Your Bluetooth devices are surrounding you in a web of electromagnetic interference. And your spiritual body is taking damage. Constantly. Your biofield is like a protective bubble, but EMF radiation pokes holes in it. Those holes let in energetic parasites. They leak your life force. They weaken your energetic immune system. Then there's your phone tracking your biometrics. Every meditation app collecting data on your brainwaves. Every fitness tracker measuring your heart rate variability, which is literally a measure of your nervous system's coherence, of your energetic state. They're building profiles. They know when you're anxious, when you're calm, when you're emotionally vulnerable, and they use that data. Targeted ads hit you when you're in specific emotional states Social media algorithms feed you content designed to trigger the exact emotional frequency they want you in. They're not just manipulating your psychology, they're manipulating your spiritual body through frequency. The elite shield their homes with EMF protection. They use hardwired internet. They keep phones away from their bodies. They know their spiritual bodies are under constant assault in the modern world. Meanwhile, they push smart cities, 5G everywhere, devices on your body constantly. They want your spiritual body damaged, weak, permeable. The Kundalini, your spiritual body's nuclear reactor. Inside your spiritual body sits the most powerful force available to humans. The yogis call it Kundalini. The Christians called it the Holy Spirit. The Chinese call it Qi. The Japanese call it Qi. It's the same thing. Primal life force energy coiled at the base of your spine like a serpent waiting to rise. When Kundalini activates, it travels up your central channel, your Sushumna Nadi, piercing each chakra as it rises. When it reaches your crown chakra, you experience what mystics call enlightenment, what psychologists call ego death, what you might call remembering what you actually are. The elite who pursue genuine spiritual power activate their Kundalini. It's not comfortable, it's not safe, it's not gentle. Kundalini rising can feel like dying. It burns through every false belief, every limitation, every energetic blockage. It's spiritual death and rebirth. And on the other side, you're completely transformed. Your spiritual body operates at peak capacity. You access abilities you didn't know were possible. But they don't want you activating your Kundalini. They give you yoga classes that stretch your body while carefully avoiding the actual practices that awaken Kundalini. They mock Tantra as sexual deviance when authentic Tantra is Kundalini technology. They removed pranayama breathing techniques from mainstream yoga because those techniques activate Kundalini. A population with activated Kundalini cannot be controlled. You become too energetically powerful, too conscious, too connected to source. So they keep you in your lower three chakras, survival, sex, power, because those are controllable. Fear, desire, ego. They can manipulate those. But once you rise into your heart chakra and above, their techniques stop working. Kundalini activation isn't for everyone. It requires preparation. Your spiritual body must be strong enough to handle the voltage. But understanding that this power exists within you, that your spiritual body contains enough energy to completely transform your consciousness, that's crucial because it means you're not dependent on anything external for your awakening. The assemblage point, the secret to shifting reality. Carlos Castaneda spent years documenting something shamans have known forever. On your spiritual body, behind your heart, sits a point where your perception assembles reality. They call it the assemblage point, and its position determines what reality you experience. In most people, it's fixed in one position. That position creates normal, ordinary reality. The world seems solid, separate, predictable. But trauma can shift your assemblage point. So can drugs. So can extreme stress. And when it shifts, reality changes. You start perceiving things that aren't supposed to be there. You experience synchronicities, precognition, telepathy, things that consensus reality says are impossible. Shamans learned to shift their assemblage point deliberately. That's how they journey to other realms, how they shapeshift, how they perform what looks like magic. They're not breaking the laws of physics. They're accessing different assemblies of perception where different laws apply. Your assemblage point right now is probably locked in the position society trained it to be in. That's why reality seems the same day after day, why you feel stuck, why manifestation doesn't work. Your assemblage point is assembling the same reality on repeat, but you can shift it. Certain breathing techniques shift it temporarily. Deep meditation moves it. Plant medicines can force it to shift, though that's dangerous without guidance. Intense experiences, near death, ego death, spiritual emergence, can shift it permanently. The elite know about the assemblage point. Some deliberately shift it to access information, to perceive opportunities others miss, to see the future before it manifests. They practice techniques that give them control over their assemblage point, while keeping yours locked in place through routine, through predictability, through the hypnosis of ordinary life. When you learn to shift your assemblage point consciously, reality becomes fluid. You stop experiencing yourself as a fixed identity in a fixed world. You become the assembler of your experience, consciously choosing what reality to inhabit. Your spiritual body's immune system. Just like your physical body has an immune system that fights off disease, your spiritual body has an energetic immune system that protects you from harmful frequencies, energetic attacks, and parasitic attachments. And just like your physical immune system, it can be strengthened or weakened. Your energetic immune system consists of your auric field's integrity, your chakras' balance, and your overall energetic coherence. When it's strong, negative energy bounces off you. Energy vampires can't attach to you. Energetic parasites can't gain entry. You're protected. But when it's weak, from poor diet, from lack of sleep, from chronic stress, from trauma, from EMF exposure, you become vulnerable. Other people's emotions affect you deeply. You pick up energy from places you visit. You feel drained constantly. That's not sensitivity. That's a compromised energetic immune system. Most people walk around with severely weakened energetic immune systems. They've never been taught to protect themselves energetically. They don't know how to shield their field, how to clear attachments, how to maintain energetic boundaries, so they're constantly under assault and don't even know it. The elite practice energetic protection as standard operating procedure. Before important meetings, they clear and shield their fields. They use crystals, herbs, visualization, intention to fortify their energetic immune system. They know that in spaces with multiple people, energy is being exchanged constantly. And without protection, you're vulnerable to manipulation. You need to learn these practices. Grounding strengthens your root, which strengthens your entire field. Breathwork clears stagnant energy, which improves energetic circulation. Visualization of protective light creates an actual energetic barrier. These aren't just mental exercises. They're technologies that physically strengthen your spiritual body's defenses. The dark secret of collective consciousness. Here's something they really don't want you to understand. Your spiritual body isn't isolated, it's networked. You're connected to every other human spiritual body through what science calls the morphic field, what mystics call the collective consciousness, what Jung called the collective unconscious. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every frequency you broadcast enters this field and affects everyone else. And every thought, emotion, and frequency in the field affects you. You are constantly influencing and being influenced at the energetic level. This is how movements spread, how ideas seem to emerge simultaneously in multiple places, how revolutions happen when enough people reach a breaking point. The collective field reaches critical mass, and suddenly everyone feels it. Everyone knows it's time for change. But here's the dark part. This field can be manipulated. When you control the frequency of the collective consciousness, you control society. Keep people in fear, and the collective field vibrates with fear, which keeps individuals afraid. Create division, and the field fragments, which keeps people divided. Broadcast chaos, and the field becomes chaotic, which makes everyone feel unstable. They understand this. That's why news media is designed to generate fear, anger, and division. That's why they create constant crises. That's why they keep society on edge. They're deliberately polluting the collective consciousness with low-frequency energy. And your spiritual body absorbs it unless you're actively protecting yourself. But here's the revolutionary part. When you raise your frequency, you raise the collective field. When you heal your spiritual body, you contribute healing to the collective consciousness. When you activate your higher chakras, you create a beacon that others' spiritual bodies can feel and respond to. You are not powerless in this system. Every person who wakes up, who cleans their spiritual body, who operates from high frequency, creates a ripple in the collective field. That's why they work so hard to keep you unconscious. Because conscious people with healthy spiritual bodies are contagious. They shift the field just by existing. What happens when you take back control? Let me paint you a picture of what your life looks like when you consciously operate your spiritual body. You wake up feeling energized because your spiritual body recharged properly during sleep. You meditate to clear your field and align your chakras. You set your energetic boundaries for the day. You notice when someone tries to cord into your energy and you cut it immediately. You feel when you're entering a space with low frequency energy and you shield yourself. You catch yourself about to speak low frequency words and you choose higher frequency language instead. You become aware of energetic parasites trying to influence your thoughts and you banish them. You feel your assemblage point shift when you're accessing higher perception. You consciously direct Kundalini energy through your meridians for healing and manifestation. Your physical health improves dramatically because you're addressing problems at the energetic level before they manifest physically. Your relationships transform because you're no longer leaking energy or absorbing others' frequencies unconsciously. Your manifestation accelerates because you're broadcasting coherent frequency from a clean, balanced spiritual body. You become magnetic. Opportunities find you. Synchronicities multiply. You start knowing things you shouldn't know through your connection to the collective consciousness. You access guidance from your higher self through your clear Ketheric template. This isn't fantasy. This is what happens when you take spiritual body maintenance as seriously as physical body maintenance. The elite live like this. They operate with this level of awareness and control. That's part of why they seem to effortlessly maintain power while others struggle. The difference is they were taught these systems from childhood. You weren't. But you can learn now. You can start today. And unlike them, you can use these abilities for genuine good instead of manipulation and control. Your call to action. So here's where you decide. You can close this and go back to living unconsciously, letting your spiritual body operate on autopilot while external forces manipulate your frequency. Or you can start taking control right now. Start with grounding. Go outside, barefoot for 15 minutes. Feel the earth beneath you. Let your spiritual body discharge the electromagnetic pollution you've accumulated. Feel your root chakra connect to Earth's frequency. That's step 1. Step 2. Protect your spiritual body from EMF. Turn off Wi-Fi at night. Keep your phone away from your body. Use airplane mode whenever possible. Get EMF protection for your home if you can afford it. If you can't, use salt lamps, plants, orgonite. Something is better than nothing. Step 3. Clear your emotional body. Don't stuff your feelings anymore. Cry if you need to cry. Rage in a safe space if you need to rage. Move the energy. Dance, shake, breathe. Process the emotional density that's been compressing in your spiritual body for years. Step 4. Reprogram your mental body. Become aware of your thoughts. Notice the limiting beliefs playing on repeat. Consciously install new beliefs. Use affirmations, but make them present tense declarations, not future tense desires. I am, not I will be. Step 5. Practice energetic hygiene daily. Clear your field with sage or Palo Santo. Take salt baths. Visualize yourself surrounded by protective light. Set energetic boundaries with people. Say no when your energy says no, even if your mind says you should say yes. Step 6. Activate your chakras systematically. Start with root. Meditate on each chakra. Visualize it opening. Feel it spinning. Move up the system. Don't rush to crown. Build a foundation first. A premature crown activation without strong lower chakras creates spiritual bypassing and disconnection from physical reality. Step 7. Study. Learn about your spiritual anatomy. Read about chakras, meridians, biofields. Not from one source, cross-reference. Ancient wisdom plus modern science. Build your understanding so you're operating from knowledge, not blind faith. Step 8. Find your frequency. What makes you feel expanded? What activities, music, places, people elevate your consciousness? Do more of that. What makes you feel contracted? What depletes your energy? Do less of that. Your spiritual body is guiding you constantly. Start listening. This is your sovereignty. This is your power. This is the control system they've kept hidden from you your entire life. Your spiritual body is real. It's measurable. It's the interface between consciousness and matter. And when you learn to operate it consciously, You become the creator they told you you're not. The elite have been using these technologies for generations to maintain power. Now you have access to the same knowledge. The question is, what will you do with it? Your spiritual body is listening, right now, waiting for you to remember what you are and step into your full power. So what are you going to do? Continue letting external forces manipulate your frequency, or take back control of the most powerful technology you'll ever possess, your spiritual body? The choice is yours. But choose consciously, because your spiritual body is creating your reality either way. The only question is whether you're directing it or it's being directed for you.